Hello. There we go.
Okay. Here we are, at the pinnacle of our young lives, our toes flirting with the ominous drop below into adulthood. Through the darkness, we can almost make out the shadows below, of college lecture halls, massive bills and loans gathering interest, of our future occupations of doctors and lawyers and teachers. But all this is obscured by heavy darkness, and only the arduous climb behind us is clearly visible. In 4 years, we've encountered innumerable obstacles, impossibly steep sections that challenged our endurance and our willpower, areas where the trail was unmarked and we had to find our way on our own. And while traversing hazardous terrain, we have each nearly fallen off the edge. There were, of course, friends to catch us when we stumbled, and teachers to guide us through the dense forests. Our families were our Sherpas, carrying part of our physical and emotional load on their strong, hairy llama backs. And yet, it feels so abruptly finished, as if we'd expected one more muscle-tearing, hand-over-hand section of craggy rock before the summit, and it never came. We just find ourselves here, at the top, anxious, afraid, excited to dive into the milky abyss below. And we will dive, eventually. But once we kick free of this comfortable plateau, we will not fall. Over the past 12 years, the gentle hands of knowledge have built wings on our backs. And when the time comes to step off the precipice and confront the shapes in the darkness below, those wings will spring open, and we will all soar triumphantly into our futures.
I think what Sam was trying to say is congratulations, thanks, and good luck.
It's a metaphor.
They got it. Personally though, I prefer a more structured look back at our years in Canton. And what better way to gauge our success than our high school's 5 expectations for student learning. Now, for those of you who don't know or don't remember, these were the expectations we were supposed to fulfill before graduating. They are as follows. Number 1, develop and demonstrate a knowledge, awareness, and understanding of the responsibilities of citizenship and the diversities of American and global cultures. Number 2, develop and demonstrate the skills necessary to reach academic potential and become a lifelong learner. Number 3, develop and demonstrate the ability to listen, view, and read with understanding, and to speak and write effectively. Number 4, develop and demonstrate an ability to formulate questions, to research information, to solve problems, and to make cogent decisions. And finally, number 5, develop and demonstrate creative skills, as well as the ability to recognize and appreciate the creativity of others. Now, the progress that we made at completing these expectations was to be documented in a digital portfolio of our work. However, it was the opinion of our class that keeping said portfolio was unnecessary. And we of course let the administration know this. In our sophomore year, the evidence that this class was something special, that we weren't ones to blindly accept the coercions of authority, was made evident. In a triumphant display of our unified strength, the class of 2008 took down this evil establishment, ending the tyranny of digital portfolio once and for all. Or at least until it could be reinstated for the class of 2011.
Ironically, however, we fought digital portfolio with a number of signed petitions, thus demonstrating our understanding of the responsibilities and privileges of citizenship and inadvertently fulfilling the first of the expectations we sought to defy. In our efforts to destroy digital portfolio, we had unintentionally fulfilled its requirements. Likewise, the rest of Expectation 1, our appreciation for global cultures, has fully developed thanks to the foreign exchange students, the Saltillo exchange, the trips to Spain and Quebec, which I hear were awesome, and of course, Ben and Holly, our visitors from China, who taught us some basic Chinese in Spanish class. That means I'm hungry.
Now, for Expectation 2, We were to develop and demonstrate the skills necessary to reach academic potential and become lifelong learners. Interestingly enough, requirements 3 and 4 require that we be able to listen and read with understanding, make decisions, research information, and solve problems. And to me, the requirements of 3 and 4 are indeed skills necessary to reach academic potential, which is part of expectation 2. So 3 and 4 are actually a subset of number 2. Or else we run the risk of saying that the ability to read is not considered a skill necessary to reach academic potential.
All right. Therefore, by virtue of L'Hôpital's rule of conflicting student expectations, 2, 3, and 4 are all technically the same expectation. This realization proves that we have met expectations 2 through 4, rendering their further discussion unnecessary, and we move on to 5.
Expectation 5 is that we should develop and demonstrate creative skills as well as the ability to recognize and appreciate the creativity of others. As I stand before you, a member of the class of 2008, I take pride in our grade's appreciation of one another's creativity. We all appreciate the dozens of times Schlinker and Chris have fixed the computers, projectors, VCRs, TVs, and DVD players in the school.
Also, everyone in the band eventually learned to appreciate, or at least tolerate, Setzler's extended sax solos during rehearsal. Happy birthday, Matt.
And Jeff Baracco's bald Six Flag Dude dance was always entertaining. And pretty much everything Chris Rivers did was funny. Everyone in this class is unique and interesting, and their talents will surely flourish in the next phase of our lives.
Now, when we were in CIS, we were tagged as the trouble class. I remember countless times we endured little disciplinary sessions with the principal because we were too rowdy or talkative or vulgar, or because we kept purposely making the weird stoplight deal in the cafeteria go off. We continued this tradition of deviance into junior high, and when 8th grade came around, or when 8th grade ended, high school teachers were warned that this upcoming class was difficult, to say the least.
But by that time, we developed a certain infectious solidarity. We were unified by our shared resentment towards the powers that chastise us, and we entered high school a class uniquely tolerant, even appreciative of each other in our differences.
Are we the most spirited class? Probably not. But luckily, we do have a faction of de facto spirit police who have repeatedly guilt-tripped or otherwise intimidated me and other less school spirit-inclined individuals into participating in class activities and Spirit Week competitions. In this way, I could maintain my cool cynicism, claiming, Katie and Emily and Julia made me do it, despite secretly enjoying dressing up as a 70s disco freak.
Now, every graduation speech seems to end with some kind of sanctimonious call to action, like, go out there and make a difference. And it's not that we don't want you to make a difference. It's just that we know you've heard it before. This class is fully aware of its social and global responsibilities. We don't need to stand up here and preach about them. I have no doubt that we will all affect positive change. Ousting Digital Portfolio was just the first in our legacy of constructive reform, and I am super psyched to see all the progress this class initiates in our country and in the world. And in keeping with our unsentimental and cliché-free speech, Sam has this to say.
Spread your wings, class of 2008. Spread your wings and fly.
But on a serious note, we really appreciate everyone coming here today to celebrate with us. We have successfully made it through this long and interesting journey that was high school. And now, as Miss Hare would say, it's time to get down to serious. Thanks to all of you here today, we leave prepared and excited to get down to serious in the next phase of our lives. Thank you.
Thanks.